Let's start off with NIC Bank.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Excellent. Now that's that out of the way, let's start with the NIC Bank rights issue. They've priced the rights at 21 shillings, and you're surprised by this. Why is that?
Yeah. I thought that was a bit low. I think they will be able to raise closer to 30 if that price is. I know that issues with historical pricing, because it really rallied towards just towards this the recent past, but. For me, I thought they'd still be able to raise a good amount of money in a price closer to 30.
So this 2.07 billion shilling rights issue priced at 21 shillings, it is a 43% discount on the price. How do you think it's likely to perform?
Well, that's a fantastic price for anybody coming in. For investors who are already there, I think there's a bit of dilution going on. Of course, if you fully take up your rights, there shouldn't be a problem. But for new people, I think it's a fantastic offer.
The company says it's a significant growth level for the next level that they want to go to. It's a key development for their shareholders to inject fresh capital. What do you think about NIC Bank as a counter?
Well, we've always been on a buy on it, simply because historically they've been showing growth, even when the market was a bit a number of challenges, especially around 07, 08 there. They still showed growth and showed good momentum, probably because of their size. They're not necessarily one of the largest banks in the country, but at the same time they've got regional ambitions. So for us, the growth story is good, and they've maintained a good focus on their niche, and we like what we see with the bank generally. Let's
move on to a development that just happened today. Kenyan has just begun and launched an 82 billion shilling Olkaria geothermal 4 project. This is the largest geothermal project ever in the country. It will actually increase the total output by 25% to the national grid.
Yeah, sorry.
Not your best day, isn't it? My apologies. Go ahead.
Anyway. For us, energy production, which has really been a bottleneck for economic growth, that should probably get out of the way. The beauty about everything here is that it's being done by, yes, it's a state-owned corporation, but it's got a good component of private sector participation. And for us, that's positive, especially because this is one of the projects earmarked for the 25 billion bond, if you remember. And they're putting that money to good use. We expect geothermal really to produce around 5,000 megawatts. We hear that's the total capacity in Rift Valley right now. So for us, good development. Geothermal is cost effective, despite initial huge capital outlays. But for us, on an operational basis, it's the pricing could come low.
Yes.
So we expect costing of electricity costing general to the economy to be a bit more manageable.
The problem with geothermal has always been that it's too expensive, isn't it? This one is expected to be complete in mid-2014. The financials, if you look at this, the World Bank, the Kenya government, KFW, EIB, AFD, and JICA, practically we need everybody with money at this point.
It's just the initial outlays, but once it's up and running, the operational costs are pretty low. And if I'm not wrong, I think the tariff there is about 8 US cents per kilowatt hour, or 8.5 US cents per kilowatt hour, which is pretty low compared to renewables, which traditionally are in double digits, most of them.
Yes.
Perhaps the lowest after that. Sorry again.
No problem. You know, if I was shooting a commercial for a cough syrup, it'd be perfect for it. Anyway, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Anyway, the tariff rates are pretty low.
Yes.
They don't come with a fuel adjustment component. Again, another cost saving for consumers. So for us, a positive for the economy. If we can get the 5,000 megawatts up and running tomorrow, all the better.
Perfect. Let's move on to something else. Safaricom launching a cheaper rates promotion, especially because that latest CCK data shows the market share is declining. Fine, not as much as anybody might be worried about, but market share is declining all the same?
No, I've been thinking of probably switching myself, because nowadays, a few minutes into calling, I'm out.
Yes.
For us, prepaid customers can be a challenge.
Right.
But I would understand where they're coming from. I'm only joking.
You know, I saw an interesting article in the New York Times a few days ago, which says, "Don't call me, I won't call you," in the sense that people don't like to be called anymore. We're more on data, we're sending emails, and we're sending texts.
Yeah, I mean, but of course, if you want quick feedback,
yes.
Calls are good. But I mean, there are very many avenues for communicating nowadays. And of course, being a communications company, for voice, you're competing with data, you're competing with email and whatnot. So yes, there can be cause for concern, but for now, I think they're pretty secure, because voice offers things that others don't, and that's pretty much instant feedback. And of course, they still got M-Pesa, so still.
And that is a big thing in the market, in this market still.
It makes,
and a big source of revenue.
It's not just a big source of revenue, but it also a source of stickiness.
Yes.
I mean, it helps manage churn, because you know, obviously when you leave Safaricom, you left M-Pesa.
Yes.
And M-Pesa is like, I mean, it's like a byword for mobile money transfer now.
Which is why some might argue mobile number portability has completely failed, because people don't want to lose M-Pesa.
No, you see, you didn't need mobile portability, yes. Really. I mean, if people wanted to leave Safaricom, they would have left. And remember when the mobile telephony started in Kenya, Kensel, then Kensel, now Airtel, was ahead of Safaricom.
Yes.
And they just got bit. So if people, I mean, it's been shown before in this very market that you can lose clientele, you can lose market share. So for me, mobile portability was not going to be the game changer.
There are interesting things happening in energy today. I sort of broke them apart, but we should have talked about them together. There's Marathon Oil entering Kenya with the 2 exploration deals. I'll leave that and instead talk about the refinery here, receiving its first delivery of crude as a merchant refinery. How significant is this? And we've been waiting for this for a long time.
It sets the pace. It sets the ground for perhaps now that other marketing MNCs now can now import directly, and if that is the case, then it'd be very interesting to see how pricing picks up from there, because we know that and marketers have argued that KPRL, Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited, has been a source of inefficiencies in that market,
yes.
And which was feeding through to pricing. So hopefully we will knock off about a couple of basis points of the prices and see better, you know, management of pricing by the marketers.
All right, we'll leave it there. Many thanks, Johnson Nderi with Suntra Investment Bank. Always a pleasure. Please get something for your throat.
I will.
Johnson Nderi, Head of Research at Suntra Investment Bank, talking about the markets here in Kenya.